By all accounts, Dunsig should have led a dull and uninteresting life. The son of a cobbler, born in a small town out in the middle of some nameless marsh, he never quite fit in, preferring to be alone, reading and studying in nature, as opposed to interacting with his fellow man. The boy dedicated himself to studying the mysteries of magic and other occult subjects. This would eventually lead to him being shunned by his kinsfolk, driven out into the wilds, where at least he could find peace. Hello again, everyone. We are Gaming by Gaslight, and welcome back to another episode of RimWorld. We're starting a brand new series today, a bit more of a high fantasy type series than previously. This is just... it's ridiculous, and I love it. It's like a Swamp Cthulhu, a friendly Swamp Cthulhu. Anyway, we're playing as a lonely hermit person who, little does he know, and by little does he know, I mean he is kind of well aware, all he wants is a friend, but he doesn't really get on well with other people. You know, he just can't stand talking to other people and, you know, socializing and interacting, but he wants a friend. And what better way to make friends than to raise the dead? And that's basically, that's the direction we're going in here. He's going to read this book on necromancy and learn how to raise the soon-to-be-dead John here, who is bleeding out as we speak. Yeah, that's pretty much the concept. Let's also have a quick jump in here. Now, this is more modded than usual, even for me. I did a lot of finagling with this, just as a quick thing. Lord of the Rim, 50% coverage. Using some of our other mods like Tiny Planet, it's like at 50% planet size, one step up on rainfall, one step down on average temperature, relatively high density of faction stuff, because I like to have a lot of bases in case we get around to doing some raiding and stuff. But most importantly, I used world edit to make this a Malorn forest, because without finagling, it's just a temperate forest, and I really liked the tile placement right here. And this might also be a bit tricky to get because we used map reroll. Like I kind of mispronounced the R there. Anyway, it's been a long day, is what I'm getting at here. So lots of finagling to get this like perfect map with some nice nice mountains, kind of like a sheltered valley. Only way in and out is this like a really narrow crevice. I mean, it's narrow and everything, but it's apparently not so out of the way that there's not like a road and bridge and everything. Someone built it. Perhaps this was part of a... Actually, let's look at the world here and try to come up with a story. I mean, it is on the way between a couple of different settlements, so, you know, I don't know. I mean, it's a narrow path here, so, like, these guys clearly don't interact with each other that much, but there is enough, like, maybe, I don't know, this is a savage kingdom, so maybe they raid the kingdom under the mountain on a semi-regular basis. I don't know. Maybe they do, maybe they don't. I mean, yeah, like there's a larger road here, so there's clearly more interaction going on in this direction than here, and then of course there's more interaction this way between the dwarves and the elves, it would seem, and a little bit with, again, the same kingdom and these people, and so on. Anyway, but yeah, we're mostly just kind of by ourselves in this cool Malorn forest. I just like the trees and just... I don't know. You got the... Where are they? You got the Lorian deer here, which, as far as I can tell, are bigger than regular deer. And there's Bouldermit from Alpha Animals. God, I can't get words out of my mouth properly today. Not sure what's up with that. Anyway. I mean, we'll survive, probably. But, oh, right. You should probably wake up, friend. Alright, here we go. So we're gonna raise the dead. gonna go super well, probably, maybe. Alright, so here we go. You know, chanting the arcane words of black speech. Dunsig has raised a dead friend. Here, you can equip that knife. And you know what? You equip this as a sidearm, if you don't mind. And let's see. What the heck was that? You know what? I'm just here and selling out my open window. It's I don't know, it feels unseasonably warm. Anyway, yeah. I mean, Zombie's job is mostly to... No, you don't even need to be a patient. Zombie's job is mostly just to haul stuff. But, you know, he can do other things too. Speaking of, let's maybe start hauling some things to be closer. There we go. Though I wouldn't mind letting him just craft, and my mind draws a blank. I'm gonna use dev mode to pop this open again later, and rename this in a more Tolkien-esque fashion. We'll just call this, you know, maybe I'll just randomize it a couple of times. See if I, Thicket Forp by the Tributary. Stonkley, Squid's Pond, Pondos, the Fun Campsite. I'll just call it Campsite for now, and we'll give this a proper name later. Anyway, while we're you know, early on here, I'm not really 100% sure what I want to do in terms of base design just yet, but enemies can only get us from here. Here, and frankly, these will be relatively easy areas to block off, or at least to trap, or they could come up the river, which means we should probably build like a heavy bridge and have defenses or something to you know, set that off. Something. We'll fiddle around with that at some point, but for now, I kind of think what I want to do is delve into the mountain in a something kind of like this. And let's see here. 9 by whatever. 9 by 9? Make it a square. We could do that. And let's see. Because I don't like waste. Though, you know what? I don't know. I think I care more about symmetry than I do about waste, which means I should also move this door at some point. And yeah, we're gonna dig into the mountain, which frankly is I know it's not the most original thing we could do. I do tend to do a lot of mountain bases, but I don't know. There's something about a mountain that I just I just can't get over, because yeah, it's cool stuff. It's a cool mountain. Anyway, so this is kitchen, dining area, bedroom. Yeah, that could be a bedroom. Since we're not playing with Dub's bad hygiene, we don't really need to worry about bathrooms or anything. Now, that would end up being interesting with this, seeing as, you know, we're in a medieval playthrough with no indoor plumbing or anything like that. And this playthrough is very unlike our Vikings playthrough. There is no technology at all. I even grabbed a mod that turned the Empire into a medieval faction. So even they're not going to be throwing... What is this exactly? It's not like killing off local plants, is it? Is it just generating random fermented mounds? Let's have a look. Decayed drakes are large, winged, flightless lizards that inhabit places with an abundance of vegetation. Even though the drakes are carnivorous, they release a nauseous cocktail of volatile pheromones that quickly accelerates the rotting process of plants, turning vegetation around them into mounds of fermented organic matter. They will consume these over hunting for fresh meat, and usually get incredibly drunk in the process. Interestingly, the creature has 4 separate livers in order to process the huge amounts of alcohol. It is unclear whether the drakes are natural creatures or genetic experiments. They aren't easy to domesticate, But if they can be coerced to accept humans, they might be useful hunting companions, especially if provided with alcohol. Human beings have been known to consume the rotting vegetation in desperate times, but most people would rather starve. Gotcha, that's useful to know. Thought I disabled all transport pod crashes. Apparently not. What the heck is this? It's a fission mouse. Even though this creature is usually called a mouse, it has more traits in common with the banner-tailed kangaroo rat, such as a jumping bipedal locomotion. The fission mouse is yet another example of human genetic engineering gone terribly wrong. Presumably the objective was to make the mice more useful as lab animals by increasing their resistance and longevity. The unexpected result is a sterile creature with neither attribute, but a really unexpected side effect. When the animal dies, free duplicates are created, sharing all memories of its parent. Rapid successive fission events are also harmful to the creature itself. If less than a few years pass between events, the mouse eventually perishes, unable to sustain its life cycle. This fission mouse is of third generation, indicating the fission process has happened twice recently, making it weaker. A third fission event will probably kill the creature for good. Okay, so we don't have to worry about it spawning out of control fission creatures. That would be kind of scary. Can I get you to do something other than lie in bed, Dunsig? I mean, I know you probably want to patch yourself up. But, you know, it would be handy if you did some work. Also, just to be clear, I'm not using Combat Extended. I am using Yayo's Combat for the ammo. I like Combat Extended, but the hard part about it is that, you know, you need like 1,000,000 patches to make it work. So, yeah. And also, I hate how overpowered explosives are. Yeah. Explosives in Combat Extended are... I mean, it makes sense that they're quite powerful, but personally I find them more annoying than helpful. In my personal opinion. So, I just... yeah. That and the mod... well, to be honest, I don't worry so much about the mod compatibility issues, because most of the mods I play with seem to have Combat Extended patches, but not all. The important thing is that the ones that I play with tend to, and stuff usually works out okay. Anyway, let's make some salt pots, because we should probably start hunting at some point. And also, you know, the sooner we get some storage to preserve our work, the better, I would dare say. And meanwhile, I think once we get stronger in our magic, which we should have a peek at over here, I think once that happens, we end up, like our zombies don't visibly rot as much. I've done a little, oh shoot, we're actually out of food. Done a little testing off camera before starting this series, and I've noticed that your zombie beings, yeah, they can just straight up rot into skeletons, which is cool. But I think if you, or of course then again, maybe it's just in winter they don't rot, which makes a lot of sense because it's cold and they don't decay. And I only tested up until about winter, so yeah. Anyway, let's make him slightly faster and also make him cheaper to maintain. Yeah, that's going to be kind of important. Okay, can you get up and do some work? And as you can see here, yeah, that's the best part about the undead. They work all day. They never get tired. They never quit. They cannot be they can't be negotiated with. They can't be reasoned with or bargained with. And they will never ever stop until they literally rot away into nothing. Or you kill them again. That also, I mean, you could technically do that, but yeah. Why would I kill my only friend in the world? Well, aside from Vox over here. At least Vox has a, you know, a pulse and is warm and fuzzy and cuddly and... Does it nuzzle? Does it ever nuzzle me? I can't tell. Just because it's not showing here doesn't mean that It doesn't. It might nuzzle. But actually, the easiest way to find that out would be to look in here. Does it nuzzle? It... Diurnal. What does this mean? Sleep during the night and are awake during... Okay. You'd figure I'd... Yeah, okay. It will nuzzle about once per day. That is acceptable. Now, once we train him up a little bit, we'll be able to... let's see. I don't really want to hunt anything until we get the salt pots go. You know what? I'll just tell Dunsig to get working. You lazy bum. All right. So let's see here. We want to have Pram. And you know what? We'll just say we'll also store vegetarian stuff on the pantry shelf. Don't mind finishing that. That'd be great. Now, my secret with these is you have one that exists just for the purpose of that only allows non-salted meat. We also probably don't want to allow, in any of these, we don't want to allow meat. You know, I don't know if iron husk beetles will cause problems. You know, like mood-related stuff. But this stuff, yeah, we're not going to store that. We don't want salted food that we're never going to cook into a meal. But yeah, you have one that only allows fresh meat, and one that allows salted and fresh meat. And the reason for this is because you can't, like, merge stacks from separate things. Because, of course, each of these is kind of like a separate stockpile. But you got to make life easier on yourself. You have one just for salting, and then the others are for actually storing long term. And I found that works pretty nicely. Suppose we can close that as well. Oh, and we do technically still need a bed, even though John will never sleep. He does, oh, and you know what? I should also turn off hunting, because I don't want an alert for something that I'm never really gonna take advantage of. That's just silly. Anyway. I should actually maybe just directly level clarity. So I'm actually not sure if it's possible to level these things up, like naturally, or if I need specifically skill points. I'll be honest, I'm not entirely sure how... I mean, I assume it's all skill point gathering related, but, yeah. I don't know. You know what? If you're going to make compost, let's, maybe let's, shrink the range a little bit. I don't want you going out of your way. What music is this? Succession. That's from, Royalty, I believe. There's some nice, nice songs, honestly. RimWorld, just the vanilla soundtrack, the... There's my... Yeah, you see, here's the problem. If everything is level or is high priority, nothing's high priority. In some ways, I have to keep learning that lesson. Of course, then again, we do have just the one person, so I guess there's not a lot I can do about that, is there? Anyway, you know what? I should actually have another growing zone for... What else would I want to grow? Maybe cotton? That makes sense. That was... I mean, there's a lot of good things we could grow, but I think cotton, just to make sure that we can make new clothes as needed. Seems like a smart play. I did actually say to mine. I didn't actually set this to be mined yet. Not that I think we're actually gonna make any real progress on this today. Also, a useful thing worth noting, our zombies do not gain skills at all. So, John's skills are going to be his forever. They're never going to get any better. Which, it's a bit of a trade-off. I mean, obviously, I guess the dead, they don't learn. They can't learn from their mistakes because they're mindless automatons that exist solely to serve the will of their master, who is Dunsig. I am kind of wondering how quickly this series is going to end up running into, or descending into, just endless crimes against humanity. We'll see. Can you be a necromancer and still be a moral person? I mean, there is an argument that the answer is just right out of the gate no, because you're desecrating the bodies of dead people. Animals, well, I mean, depending on how you feel about animals, you're also desecrating animals. But, again, it all depends on your point of view on that, I guess. Yeah, let's actually have powered creations. Do our skills level up? I don't think anything leveled up, so... Well, he did actually level into Undead number 2. Let's see. Pawn possesses no intent of its own. Okay. That's sensible. And look at that. Can't talk, can't hear. I mean, the hearing... Well, I guess we must control him through some kind of, like, telepathy rather than, you know, giving him commands saying, hey, John, go fetch me my slippers. Or, hey, John, stand there with an apple on your head while I practice my archery. Or, hey, John, just haul those rocks over there. Etc., etc. Alright. I like that we have a pet that can feed itself, basically. That's very, very handy. I also really like this Colossus just here. Man. I can just imagine what it'd be like if I were living in this magical fantasy world and getting to live next to like something like this. It's just a giant... Let's have a look at it for a second here. It's, what is its size? 6. So, its size is 6. 1 is a human. So 6 means it's 6 times the size of an adult human male, I'm assuming. Or just your average adult human. That's what would 6 times be? I mean, if I'm thinking in like a linear scaling type terms, I mean, if your average human, let's say the average human is 6 feet tall. I think we had a discussion about this in a previous episode in a previous series, but let's say, so 6 feet tall by 6, that's 36 feet tall. So it's about the size of a house, basically. A 2, maybe 3. Well, depending on... It's not necessarily all tall. Some of it's long. Which also, thinking about this, a weird Canadian measurement system. We use the metric system, but we also... Yeah. There's a handy rule if you're living in Canada to decide whether you're using metric or imperial. But I don't know what the rules of that are. All I know is like growing up, it was always feet and inches for measuring your height, pounds for your weight, instead of the superior metric meters and grams, or I guess kilograms. Anyway. That aside, yeah, this is our happy little valley cove. Well, I guess it's not a valley, is it? It's a cove. We're living in a cove, and you know what? I wouldn't mind living in a cove in real life. I mean, heck, I wouldn't mind living in a place like this. Oh, you know what? We should haul the dead body, because at some point we can pet cemetery all the dead animals on the map, and then. Because when you raise dead animals, they're automatically trained, and they can all attack. Then you can unleash your horde of animals upon unsuspecting fools. Yes. Yes, indeed. Anyway, all that aside, I suppose... what the heck, this is the first episode of the series. We'll let it run a little long. But yeah, that's kind of our plan. We're going to be necromancers. We're just going to build stuff up. I feel like not a lot is happening right now, so maybe between this first episode and episode 2, I'll kind of fast forward a couple of game days, maybe longer. Kind of depends on how I'm on how things shake out here. Just, what is John doing? Ah, he's hauling. I mean, he's doing what I asked him to do. He's hauling stuff. There's a part of me that's really irritated with all this fermented stuff just rotting. I don't know what I can do with it. I just feel obsessed with the idea of hauling it all into one place. Maybe I should store it outside, because then I can keep the drake nearby and then try to tame it. I don't know. And I don't want medicine in my... You don't salt your herbal medicine. That's just silly. Anyway, so yeah, that's this is what things look like for us, and I don't know. I'm expecting a nice peaceful game where maybe we tame ourselves some, and I ride a Lorien stag. They do it in Lord of the Rings. Of course, obviously the cool thing to do would be to, what is it? I think somewhere around here you can see, like, the age, life stage of these things. Maybe? Am I imagining that? I might be. The point I'm getting at it is, will this drake, which is about the size of a human, is this something I want to try riding? Like, tame it, ride it, and, yeah. I mean, it sounds like a cool idea. And is, you know, the first step towards getting an undead dragon as a mount that we can fly into battle. And you know damn well I'm gonna do that, because with Lord of the Rims, and also future mods that... Well, and mods that exist right now, I could get some mods that just add dragons to the game. But I know there's an upcoming mod soon-ish, maybe even by the time this episode goes live, though... You know, I'm not sure on that front. There's going to be a mod from the creators of the vanilla expanded mods that'll be adding dragons. Specifically, I believe, based off of the How to Train Your Dragon series, but, you know, still, it's dragons, damn it. And any dragons, as long as the art style is reasonably consistent with the rest of the vanilla game, I like it, I want it, I must have it. And also, again, flying into battle on undead zombie dragon. You just can't beat that, just for, you know, style points. With that in mind, it is probably time I wrap this episode up instead of having it, you know, just ramble on forever. So until the next time, as always, thank you all for watching. I hope you all enjoyed. Like with any new series on the channel, it's always extra double super special important to hit that like button, or maybe leave me a comment down below. Let me know what you're thinking, and I will see all you in the next video.